Hi there, my name's Tom from Vape Club, and today we're going to be taking a quick but relatively in-depth look at the new Kanger Subvod starter kit. The starter kit is comprised of the new Subvod battery, which is a 1300 milliamp hour battery, and is non-variable voltage and non-variable wattage. With it comes the Kanger Subtank Nano S, which is a slightly updated version of the original Nano, and we'll go into the intricacies in a little while as to what that's all about. What does that all mean? Well, for those that are new to vaping or just starting out, it's a very, very straightforward and simple device to use, which requires very little knowledge to get a good experience from the device. For those that are more experienced, it's a great, stealthy, pocketable, on-the-go, sub-ohm capable device. Simple as. So let's take a closer look at what you get in the actual box. You get, as previously mentioned, the Subvod kit, which is comprised of the battery and the Nano S. You also get a color-coded charging cable, USB charging cable, depending on which of the 6 colors you choose, and some replacement Pyrex glass just in case you have an accident for the tank. Avoid you having to buy a whole new kit. Along with this, you get the instruction manual in 2 languages, which is, as you can see, rather basic because there's no need to go into too much detail. Along with this, you get the usual guide to the ratings of coils based on VG content of the liquid you're using and how to verify that it is an authentic Kanger product. So we've had a look in the box. Now just a very brief size comparison. We have the Aspire Premium Starter Kit on the leftmost side, the Kanger Subbox Nano Starter Kit in the middle, and the Subvod on the right. In terms of setting the device up, the first thing you'd need to do is remove the tank and ensure that your battery is fully charged. The way you would do this on this particular device is the USB charger is located at the base of the device. Some will find that slightly annoying, but it is a pen style vape, so standing it up necessarily might not be the way forward. When you plug it in, you will see that there are 2 small LEDs at the base of the unit, which will be red when it needs charge. Now I did actually charge this earlier. It took about 3 hours to charge on a 0.5 amp USB. A good thing to do whilst you're charging the battery is to fill the tank. Earlier on I mentioned that this is the Nano S and is slightly different to the original Nano that was released in that it has 4 airflow options as opposed to the 3 that were on the original. When disassembling the tank, there are 2 portions that can be unscrewed. So you want to get a grip there and just make sure you're just taking the bottom off, which is what houses the actual coil. I'm going to use some apple butter from Liquid State, one of my favourites at the moment. I'm not going to fill it all the way to the top. You'll see here that there is a chimney that comes up. Essentially, you want to ensure that you fill below the chimney line. There's also on the Nano sort of a metal clasp, as it were. You can keep it below that if you want. It's not massively important for those that want to squeeze as much as they can into the 1.9mm capacity. It's also a very good idea to ensure that you prime your coils. Best way of doing this is to just drop into each of the actual juice inlets directly onto the cotton. I don't tend to put any in the middle, and once you've done that, you can just screw it back down all the way, but not over tight. And I advise you let it sit for at least 5 minutes, 10 if possible, just so that all the liquid soaks in to that coil properly. Now we've let the device sit for 5 to 10 minutes, it's time to turn it on. Doing so is as simple as 5 quick clicks. You'll get a flashing light to indicate that you have turned the device on, and taking a vape is as simple as holding the button down and drawing on the device. I've got it set to the widest airflow setting because I'm using, as previously mentioned, the stainless steel organic cotton coil, which is rated at 0.5 ohm. It's a very nice vape. And that's basically it in terms of how to set the device up. To turn it off, it's the same as turning it on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in quick succession. Again, the device will flash to indicate that you have turned it on or off. If you're ever unsure, a little tap of the button, there's no lights coming on, it's off. So as I mentioned earlier, there are 4 airflow settings. It's on the widest at the moment, but we have 2 holes. One, which is probably about 2 mil, and then a smaller one still. The last one, I should imagine, is for those that prefer a mouth-to-lung vape. And for those that aren't necessarily sure what I'm talking about, what I just did was a direct lung inhale, which is typical of a device that is used for sub-ohming. Sub-ohming is anything that is using a coil that is rated below 1 ohm, and what that means is that you can push more power through it and get those bigger, more dense clouds. But for those that are happy with a mouth-to-lung, the smallest airflow setting should be sufficient to achieve a satisfactory mouth-to-lung vape, provided you are using a 1.5 ohm coil, which you can buy separately and will be available in the new cylindrical form come mid-November. Pros and cons. Pros. In a word, simplicity. For those that are just starting their vaping journey or looking to do so, there aren't many devices on the market which are easier to use and require minimal knowledge. I wouldn't say no knowledge, but minimal knowledge. We get a number of questions regarding a number of areas of vaping here at Vape Club, and this device would eliminate virtually all of those. Other than the ease of use, form factor is definitely one of the more positive areas. You see, I just slip it in my pocket, no problem at all. So again, for those that are looking for a secondary device or something that they want to use on the go, this is a winner. The cons, battery life, in 2 words. Those that are looking to use a device predominantly as a sub-ohm device using the 0.5 ohm coil, the battery life lasted me yesterday with relatively heavy levels of vaping around 5 hours. As a secondary device, that's not necessarily a problem, but if you're looking to use this as your main device, that may be an issue depending on how frequently you vape. Along with this, there's a 1.9 mil capacity of the Nano S on top. Will mean, again, if using it as a sub-ohm device, you'll need to refill the tank on a relatively regular basis. Lastly, the fact that it's non-variable may be a deal breaker for some, in the fact that fully charged, you will get 3.7 volts, with the 0.5 ohm is around 28 watts. As the charge level drops, though, that will drop down to about 3 volts, and some may find it doesn't necessarily kick enough, as it were. So the Kanger Subvod starter kit will be available from around mid-November. As mentioned, it comes in 6 colours, and initially will ship with one 0.5 ohm coil pre-installed. From what we understand, the 0.5 ohm and the 1.5 ohm cylindrical coils will be available in packs of 5, replacement packs, from again mid-November. And that's about that. I've been Tom from Vape Club. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any further questions or there's anything not covered in the video, please do feel free to comment. I will get back to you. Likewise, feel free to like and subscribe if you like what you've seen. We will be doing more in the future. Bye for now. Quick, but relatively in-depth. Hi there. No, angry. Cool. Not quite as exuberant as before, but I think you'll get more exuberant as we go along. Oh, well. What does that all... Okay.